this index US30. It's not an index that I enjoy analyzing or hardly trade because like it's a bit, not really that it's a challenge. I just prefer Nasdaq over this one. Probably because like Nasdaq, it's one of the pairs that I started analyzing with back then when I didn't know nothing. I didn't even know what a currency pair was when I was starting, right? So, but then here I am today, uh, teaching. It shows that it shows something else, right? So I'm going to be analyzing this pair using the top-down analysis uh concept, right? So remember we did the same thing with German 40. So we're going to do the same thing with US30. So I'm sure you guys probably be wondering, why am I focusing too much on this top-down analysis thing? One of the reasons is because starting from the higher time frame coming down, right? So it helps us to be able to find trades that correspond like with the major movement, right, or with the major trend. So we cannot really be looking for a sell in a buying uh in a buying trend, or we can look for a buy in a selling trend unless if there is a change of character, right? I need you to take note of that. The only reason we can look for buys in a sell trend, right, it's when there is a change of character, right? And mostly that change of character, it won't really be like symbolizing a trend change. Mostly it will be just liquidity, right? It preparing to continue with the trend, going to grab an order to mitigate an order block. And that change of character for you, probably it was what do you call it, inducement, right? So let's start. So I want to start at the highest time frame, or the which is the monthly, or I won't even go to the weekly time frame, right? So I will start at the daily time frame. So sorry, just like I did with German 40, I will start by marking what we call the buy side liquidity and the sell side liquidity, right? So let's start with the buy side liquidity. So it won't do us bad this time. Okay, so this is the buy side liquidity. And remember, the reason why I'm calling it buy side liquidity is because we are looking for trades. The reason why I'm calling it buy side liquidity and sell side liquidity, right, which is this one that I'm doing right now, the sell side liquidity, is because we need to find trades or continuation trades between the buy side and sell side liquidity, right? So whatever that you're going to do in between here, you're going to look for buy opportunities, right? We need to take note of that. And if you check here, this is the break of structure. This year it was the break of structure. Some people do not like calling it the break of structure because it's only a small wick that broke here, right, on this time frame. But if you go to the 4-hour time frame, it actually showed a candle that closed uh, above this break of structure. You see, even if like it's not much, but then it shows. See, it shows here, right? So let's go back to the daily time frame. So okay, let's wait for it to load. Okay, so let's continue our disadvantage to me here. So let me just do it manually. Remember, I want you to I don't know if I've said this or it's the first time saying it, but then every time you mark the buy side and sell side liquidity only when there is a break of structure, right? Only if there is a break of structure. If there is a break of structure and we see our price starting to make a pullback, right? And you see that this is a real pullback, right? That's when you need to start marking your buy side liquidity. I'm talking like in a buy trend right here, right now, right? So we need to look for those things. Okay, so let me see if it's gonna let me write. If it doesn't, then it's fine. We'll just continue. So side liquidity. Okay, let me mark the BOS here. BOS. BOS, it stands for break of structure. And the break of structure tells us that price is still continuing with its trend. It can either be uptrend or downtrend, but then here it's for an uptrend, right? Remember, after marking your buy side liquidity and sell side liquidity, let's focus much on these two right now. Because like we need to look for trades in between these two liquidity zones, right? So we're going to add our Fibonacci retracement tool. Remember, in a buying trend, we start marking the Fibonacci at the sell side liquidity, where the sell side liquidity is, right? Then we go up until price up until the buy side liquidity, right? So we've marked our buy side liquidity. Remember, the second thing that we need to do is look for zones below the 0.5 Fibonacci level, right? So where will our order block be? Our order block at this point will be this last selling candle, all of it, all of this candle. This is where our order block will be, right? And the other thing that's making it an order block, right? It's this favor gap here, right? If you check it, there's a beautiful gap here. So that's one of the things that's going to attract price to come back down here, right? You understand? So that's on the daily time frame. Let me just mark it as an order block. We'll go to the lower time frame. It is an order block. Okay. Let me show that it we're moving in the same interval. Okay, now let's go down to the 4-hour time frame. So here I've seen a lot of people like online, right, busy like debating whether price is at a buying zone or it's at a demand zone. If you ask me, I would say yes, it's at a demand zone. But this demand zone, let's see, Fibonacci level it's in. The only problem is this demand zone that it's in, it's not at a discounted level. If you understand, okay, it's not here. Let me edit it again. This demand zone, it's not at a discounted level, right? So it kind of like disqualifies it as a demand zone. But then I'm not saying price is not going to buy from there, right? I'm not saying price is not going to buy. If you check price, it's at this zone. It's at this zone here, this demand zone here. And if you look at it, it looks strong. because price isn't broken below it, right? So it looks strong. But then if you check here, this is where the 0.5 Fibonacci level is. This is where the 0.5 Fibonacci level is to the 1 Fibonacci level, you see. This is the discounted zone, right? Let me please let me mark it. Let me mark it as the discounted zone. Discounted zone. Right, so if it's a discounted zone, so this is where we probably find high probability, sorry about that, high probability buy zone, right? Buy zones. This is where we look for them, right? So if you're at this 4-hour time frame, so where will I mark my order block? This is where I will mark my order block, and if you check, it's aligning with the it's almost close to the 0.786 zone, which is the golden zone, right? So this is where I would mark my order block. Some, just for safety purposes, right? They will come and mark this zone here, right? And this zone, it looks strong. It looks strong, this zone, because you check this, there's still a little bit of imbalance below it, right? You see, up just above it, you see there's a little bit of imbalance above it. And if you check here, you see it's also close to the 0.786 level, meaning that somewhere, somehow, properly, it might come and mitigate this zone instead of this zone. Reason being because of this imbalance, making this zone this week where I marked this order block, making it a very strong liquidity level, right? So if I just move this thing here, you can say it's a strong liquid level. Let's mark it properly. Strong market is a strong liquidity level. All right, so price, I come here and play, then start reversing, right? So I am picking this one as a reversal or as a continuation zone, right? But then not that I am just fully disqualifying this zone. I'm not fully disqualifying it, but then the fact that there's still an imbalance below it and showing some sort of liquidity, I can't really put my faith in it. But then if it does reach at this level and it shows like signs of continuing trend continuation, like there's certain patterns that it shows, right? So now let's come to this demand zone here. We cannot really leave this out. We cannot pull it out. As you can see, price is showing like this demand zone, it's showing some strength, and price it's still liquidating a lot here. It's still liquidating a lot. So what can this thing or this imbalance teach us, or this demand zone, teach us? There are two things that we can expect, right? Expect price to go up, and then when it goes up, it comes back to this supply zone, right? To the supply zone, then it goes down, right? That's my first theory, right? That's my first theory. Price goes up, comes back to this supply zone, and continues to go to go down, right? to that order block or demand zone that I told you about. Secondly, we might even add a third option here. So now we have price might continue if it's strong as it looks. Price might continue to go up and comes and break this zone, right? It might do that, and it's a high possibility. Looking at that, this thing, it's strong, but then it might find it like the market makers are just building up liquidity here. They're not really focusing that they don't really want to buy, but then they just want to build up liquidity here, right? So let's dive into the 1 hour to see if we can find possible buy opportunities or something. Most people are looking to buy US30 here. I've seen a lot of people saying US30 is about to buy at this demand zone, and I can't really deny them, because if you check price, it's playing too much. It's playing too much here, and it has shown a lot of reversal candles, right? You know, inverted hammers. If you check here, you know, there's an inverted hammer, then it was engulfed by this buy candle. So it's a high possibility that price might continue to go up. But then let's come back to the 4-hour time frame. For me to say that price is gonna buy this zone, right? I'll wait for price to break this zone here, this minor high, right? So I'll wait for price to break this minor high. Understand, right? So then breaking this high, right, I will want price to come back. I will look for maybe like on the lower time frame, look for an entry point, like a perfect entry point. I'll wait for price to come back, mitigate that order block or demand zone, then continues to buy, right? That's one thing I can look for. Other than that, I wouldn't really do anything at this point. Doing anything at this point like will result in you getting like liquidated that easily. So we need to be cautious, because like if we just look at one perspective, like we want to look for a buy at a certain zone, like there are chances that price might not reach that zone that you wanted to buy at, right? Because one, we are not market makers. We follow what the market makers are doing, and we make sure that they don't manipulate us. That's the most important thing that we have to do as forex traders, right? We follow the market makers. We do what the market makers do, and we try to make sure that these market makers, they don't absorb our fundings, our money, right? So it's very important to look at both perspectives, right? Like we don't just like it's just because price it's not below, it's not at a discounted zone, it doesn't mean price it won't buy. You understand, right? So you need to be careful. You need to be careful. And the other thing that's making it strong, there's this concept called rally base rally. Like it's when we look for demand zone, you see price going up, it rests a bit, then continues to go up, comes back down, mitigate the demand zone, then continue to go up, right? So what's happening here? The reason why price it's back here, right? It might be because of this pattern. It might be because of this pattern, and you guys need to be careful. You need to be like very, 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 very careful. But for me right now, I am not outrolling this one, right? This setup, I'm not unrolling, and also this, let me just mark it also. I will not disqualify it as of yet, right? So I'll just let it be. I will just mark it as my point of interest, right? Then the one below, I will mark it as my extreme order block, right? If all those things don't happen, you don't know, because I don't know about this one, but then it seems like it was mitigated. The fair value gap was mitigated, and price continued to go up and broke the structure here. So far we are seeing like a beautiful continuation, right? That's about to happen. It can either happen here at this zone that it's at, or at this. Let me mark. I forgot. Let me mark it as my point of interest. Point of interest, right? Okay, so this is my point of interest. Then this will be my order block. So my uh, just reduce the font so you can see it properly. Yeah, that's all for now. That's all for now. Like I said, possibility price coming, continuing its buy, coming to the supply zone, then coming back down to mitigate one of these two zones, right? Then we continue to go up, right? So that's all from me right now. I'll see you again with another video updating you on what's happening with US30. Probably the next video, I'm not sure, probably Nasdaq, but the Nasdaq is still playing, it's still continuing its buy, it's finishing its buy, it is to complete its buy. Then probably after that, I will give you an update on what's happening on Nasdaq. So remember, top-down analysis is very important. It's very important to master this concept of top-down analysis. Again, it helps us to be able to follow relation with the dominant trend, right? That's the first thing. That's the first thing that we need to look at, and that's the most important thing when we open the Forex market, or when we open trading view, right? So do not open trading view and go to the smaller time frames, unless if you're an intraday, what do you call them? Intraday traders, right? Those who only trade for that certain day. For us, we want to swing, right? Swing trading that we want to do. And what we do, it's swing trading, and it helps us also to master our trading psychology in full, right? So let's focus. Let's try to master this top-down analysis, and let's also focus on swing trading, because there's more profits there, right? Especially if we do the smart money concept way, we will do it properly. So in the future, we'll introduce this concept of smart money concept thoroughly, and so that you guys can be able to follow what we are doing and understand why we use this concept, right? So from me to you guys, it's see you next time.